太宰は言った。愛はこの世に存在する。きっとある。見つからぬのは愛の表現である。その作法である。
This is a scene from Tsuki ga Kirei, a romance anime, one of the many that I've watched in the last few months. Anime is something I've known for as long as I can remember, with Doraemon and Ninja Hattori being the two very first anime I've ever watched, even before the likes of Pokemon, Dragon Ball, and Yu Yu Hakusho. Now fast forward to when I'm 11 years old. I don't know why, but I suddenly had the urge to watch as many romance anime as possible. So while others were watching the first season of Attack on Titan, I was caught up in the dynamics between hundreds of love lines, triangles, and all other shapes as well. Since then I realized I like romance anime. Romance is now one of my favorite genres out there, aside from the psychological and thriller genres. So today I'd like to talk about romance anime and exactly why I regard the genre so highly. Music can make or break an anime. This is even more true for romance anime. Whether the music is calming or upbeat can completely change the mood of a scene. Sometimes it's even better to have no music at all and let the dialogue determine the ambiance with a background of complete and utter silence. Movies do this all the time, and in fact every single Makoto Shinkai movie does this. Whether it be 5 centimeters per second, Your Name, or even Garden of Words, if you pay close attention, you'll find a contrast of scenes with music and scenes without it at all.
私に優しくしないで。
This is good.
Really? It's just regular roasted tea.
Roasted tea? I've never had it before.
What? I'm sure you have.
You think?
Of course. I made this for you, so I can't promise it's any good. Have some if you want.
Thank you.
Music producers like Kevin Penkin, who created some of the music for Made in Abyss, Shield Hero, and Tower of God, are way more important than you might actually think. And as much as viewers like Sea-Dog, VA, or Connor might not notice when watching, the music is there and it dictates the experience for the viewer. Whether it is just good or really good can be determined by the music. Plot in romance anime is like a double-edged sword, so you can either get a brilliant anime with a unique setting and characters, or you can get your average school setting with an average-looking protag. But the plot is more than just the backbone of a show. Even if they take place in a cliché setting, there are many anime that I adore, but undoubtedly they're very average. Or are they? Okay, yeah, fine, most of them are, but not all of them. And in fact, the anime I showed you in the start of the video is a school anime, much like hundreds of other predecessors. But this anime takes place in not a high school, but actually in a middle school. Yup, Tsuki ga Kirei is about the love between two 13-year-olds. And yes, while that sounds a bit weird now that I said it like that, it's truly a very, very good anime. You'll just have to take my word for it. The anime is about Azumi, a boy who loves to write, and he really admires Osamu Dazai's writing. Osamu Dazai being the writer and not the detective character. Anyway, in his last year of middle school, he's put in the same class as Akane. This is the start of the anime. I can talk more, but if I do, the entire series is only 12 episodes long, meaning the more I talk, the more you'll get spoiled. Either way, Tsuki ga Kirei, though pretty much average in most ways, the atmosphere made for a very fun and interesting watch. And that's exactly my point. The atmosphere in a romance anime, and therefore any anime, can make an average setup into a brilliant masterpiece. So while everyone might say that the good old plot of an anime is most important, I beg to differ. In my opinion, the atmosphere of an anime is far, far more important. How good an anime is can be determined by the atmosphere. Think of it almost like a power level. A school anime like Tsuki ga Kirei is so much better than whatever this anime is. They're both school anime, sure, but hey, one is like a French kiss and the other one is like Gordon Ramsay shitting on the food. But you're probably wondering, what does this have to do with romance anime specifically? You probably didn't ask that, but I'm gonna answer it anyway. You see, the older I got, the more I understood and the more the atmosphere of a good romance anime started changing. This is not the case for most anime, especially in shonen, for example, Dragon Ball. The first time I watched it, it was awesome and almost semi-orgasmic, but when I rewatched it like a year ago, it felt the same, but also stagnant. Nothing changed except how I felt about it. The nostalgia kept me going, but unfortunately that was it. I didn't experience anything new. But for romance anime, the older I got, the more I understood the characters, not just the plot of what happens, but the deeper meaning behind it as well. The psychological and sociological connections are much more developed in romance anime. Obviously, this is just a vague statement, it's not 100% true all the time, and in fact Dragon Ball is better than most romance anime. Anyway, all in all, this is why I like romance anime. It's one of the few genres that a certain type of atmosphere can be created in. Sometimes the anime is sad, but even so, they're really fun to watch. It's that feeling that drives me to watch more and more, especially in this kind of climate where we are constantly getting butt fucked with too much isekai. It feels refreshing to watch the lives of people as their new lives intertwine and change with one another. I know this video was confusing as hell, but hey, at least it's another video and you know I'm not like dead or anything. Anyway, I'll see you next week. Bye.